Hey guys, it is crazy, but I just did a 45-minute long live stream, a weekly evaluation that is. I had my one participant, Luke, he joined me in that evaluation, but somehow the technical part wasn't with me, so all of a sudden the whole video just disappeared. That being said, I'm gonna give you a very brief summary of this week's challenge, the evaluation, because I have been fasting for almost 20 hours now, and I'm not gonna do a 40-minute long evaluation again, and maybe that was too lengthy anyways. So let's just jump straight into it. This week has been about being more assertive. That is the fourth pillar of the book, the Six Pillars of Self-Esteem. And the three first pillars are living consciously, living the practice of self-responsibility, and then we have oh my god, this is just failing all the way. Why did my video have to fail that bad? No, that doesn't matter. I'm just going to speak very briefly to you about self-assertiveness. Self-assertiveness means acting your part, following your dreams, your beliefs, values, and goals, standing up for yourself. That is what being assertive is all about. And that is what I've been doing this week. At least that has been my focus. That is what I've tried to do. And before I say another word, I'm just going to check if I have audio, and that I have, because I failed to do that last week. You see, I'm assertive. I'm not going to get overrun by my tiredness just because I'm fasting and hungry like shit. That's not going to make my evaluation go down the drain again. But so, what have we been doing? Or let's just start with, why do we do the assertive part? Well, it's a key fundamental piece of building self-esteem. If we don't do this, if we don't act, speak our mind, we can't build that self-esteem. If we don't live the way we want to live, it doesn't mean we're true to ourselves, and it's just a fundamental piece of the self-esteem building puzzle. And you really notice that when you have this focus as I've had this week. When you narrow in on being assertive and you want to speak your mind, it makes you come alive. It makes you feel like, yeah, this is what I should always be doing. But when you focus in on this, it also makes you evaluate yourself quite intensely. At least for me, it has been the case that I've judged myself and my actions a bit too hard because I haven't acted the way I wanted to. But that's part of accepting reality, and then you can make the change. That's part of what we've learned in this self-esteem building journey so far. Consciousness, acceptance, taking responsibility. You see, it all ties together, and that just becomes clearer and clearer for every week that we go through. It's logical, this chronological ordering in which we go through the self-esteem building. And being assertive, it's so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you have these sentence completion exercises in the morning and the evening, it makes you think about being assertive. But also, when you do like I do, just decide to be more assertive, and you journal throughout the days. You reflect upon what has happened, how you have acted, how you can tweak and adjust to the next similar interaction. It really makes you progress so much faster. But as I spoke about in the vlog, it also makes you realize that social skills toolbox is a necessity. It's a tool that you really benefit from having. But as I also mentioned in the vlog, is that it ranks secondary to actually speaking your mind. That is more important, to stand up for yourself and follow your beliefs, values, and goals, and to say that. Then the social outcome of that interaction for speaking your mind, that might not always be beneficial, but it ranks lower, and that means you can work on that later. It will benefit you more, even though the outcome of what you just said may be not ideal, but that the fact that you actually spoke your mind will outrank whatever outcome that it resulted in. At least that's how I look at it right now, from my current perspective and my current knowledge base. But as Nathaniel Brandon also says, he emphasized that it is very context specific. You need to adapt depending on where you're at, if you're talking to your boss or if you're talking to a kid. So that's where the social game come in. That's where you need to practice that. And it makes me realize that you can't do this in 1 week and expect to be a pro. You need to work more intensely on, for instance, the social skills, the body language, how you put yourself out there, honing in on the details. That is super important. And that has made me think about how we should approach the future. Now we are going to go through all the 6 pillars, but beyond that, maybe we're going to again return to every pillar each week, but with a tighter focus. Maybe the focus on the weeks ahead, when we're going to work on assertiveness again, could be on developing some social skills or working on our body language and such, because it all ties down to building self-esteem. It's just a matter of how you structure it and how you present it. But when you really anchor it down to the self-esteem building part and you do it in a structured way, it will really make it clear for why you're doing it. The motivation part, which is very important and should not be neglected, will be very clear. So I'm thinking about the future in a structured way, but that's for later. Just to conclude the week, again, I'm going to do this very briefly. All I can say is that it is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it's very powerful. And when you start to play around with it, it makes you feel more like a human being in control of your life. It really is fun to be assertive, to speak your mind, and to push yourself to do that. But also, it makes you think about your clarity in those different areas. Because if you don't know what you want, what your beliefs and values are, you can't be assertive. That follows the step of clarity in those areas. Because how else will you be assertive if you don't know what you want? It just makes so much sense, but it makes you think about it to a greater extent when you want to be assertive. So getting clarity on your life, values, beliefs, and goals, super important, and it is a prerequisite step to being assertive, at least if it's going to be honest. And that's also key to building self-esteem. I mean, you can be assertive and act that part, but then it's not going to build self-esteem because it won't align with your true values and beliefs. So that's the very brief summary of this week's challenge. And yeah, it is. Also, in the video I just streamed, I replied to a fellow friend, or not a guy named I can't remember his name. It was a guy who commented on one of my YouTube videos. Let's see if I can find him. Andrew Acevado. He He asked in a comment on one of my vlog episodes in the week, "Hi Alexander, I'm yet to watch all your videos. It seems overwhelming, all of the self-esteem work that you have done so far, and it makes me dizzy of all the work ahead of me. The audio short version of the book makes it sound easy and just elaborates on sentence completion. Which week did you find a shift in your perception?" That was basically his question, and it's a very good question. And a not too lengthy answer on that question is that you have to come to understand that you can't rush this process. It is a lengthy process. When I first read the book, I read it all in one piece, and it's like, whoa, how am I supposed to do that? And I didn't grasp and understand. I was overwhelmed as well. I didn't understand it. But so when I just decided that, hey, let's break it down to weekly challenges, let's just give it the appropriate attention it needs. Let's take 1 week at the time, one pillar at the time. When I come to what do you say? When I accepted that that was the way I'm going to do it, it felt much better, because then I could reread every chapter like several times when I had the focus of the week for the pillar of the week. And that is what I've been doing, because every time you reread it, you get a deeper understanding. But what's key is that you get that deeper understanding not just because you're rereading it, but because you're having that intensified focus. You're giving 1 week, one pillar's attention. You're focusing in on being assertive. That's all you're gonna do. And you have to understand that, Andrew, that is what needs to be done. You can't just throw yourself into trying to understand everything at once. It's just not possible. And I think that's just the key. We can have a more lengthy discussion around this question if you want to, but understand that you need to invest that time. You can't rush the process. But also when you start to make this journey, you realize that I want this journey to take time, because you learn and understand so much. You grow so much, and the insights you gain every week, they are prerequisites for next week's challenge, next week's pillar. And if I have to choose one area that has been the most important one, I'd say it's the part of being more conscious. It really is what every other pillar builds upon, because if you're not able to pick up on all the things, you're not going to be able to do the work that is necessary. And I have to say that being more conscious, being mindful, increasing your awareness, waking up, is something I started to work with before the week 1 of the practice of being more conscious. It has taken the most time. It is the hardest skill to learn, but it is worth that time. So start with playing around with that. And meditation is one tool for doing that, but I'd say journaling and trying to increase my awareness throughout the day is what has helped me most. So journal is just a key tool to help you out there. And I journal throughout the day, every day. It's maybe more easy to me because I work on a computer, so I can easily just switch window and write what's happening, how am I feeling, how am I thinking, what is happening in the context I am right now. Am I having a discussion with the person or just had? That made me feel some certain things. Why was that? How can I do a reflection concerning what just happened? Can I adjust something to the next time? And so forth. And journaling just makes this growth journey so much more rapid. And I think that's a lengthy enough answer for Andrew. Hope it helped you out somehow. If it didn't, just write in the comments again if you want me to clarify some pieces But hey, just accept that it is a lengthy journey, but it's so worth it, and it has increased my life quality in so many ways. I don't know where to start answering that question, actually. So truly amazing, and I wish you good luck on that journey, and of course use my material if you want to. And that answers hopefully a lot of other people's questions as well, because it may be a bit overwhelming when you see all the videos I've done and where you should start. But just start with week 1, practicing the level of consciousness you're having. Yeah, so with those words, I'm gonna shut this live stream down, because I don't want to risk it getting lost again. I'm gonna continue to do my weekly evaluation now, because that is the second part. Yeah, maybe I have to talk a little bit about that first before closing it down. As always, Fridays are a bit. They are divided into 2 parts. First, we do this weekly evaluation, and then we do the individual weekly goal evaluation, where we go through the week. We elevate ourselves to burst new perspective, look back at what has happened, what actions did I take. For me, it's all about reading through my journal, reflecting about what's happened, how I have acted. And I also have a table, which you can find in the link in the description, for how I describe that part. But I have 7 key life goal areas where I have different goals attached to each area. And in my table, I also have questions and habits and things that are aligned with these areas. And I fill this table out throughout the week. So I have a lot of details and things that I just go through in this weekly evaluation. And it makes my growth so much easier to be able to do this. And yeah, of course, if you need to adjust your goals, your habits, or how to just approach life in somehow, that is what you do now in this weekly evaluation. And it makes you ready for the next week in a so much better way, because I just realized, no, but I wasn't able to have my weekly evaluation last week, and that has made this week feel very unfocused and unclear, and I didn't know what really happened last week. So truly can recommend you to do these weekly evaluations, and you don't have to do it in a super advanced way. There are some links down there to guides that doesn't do it in my way. They have other ways to go about it, but just pick away. The most important thing is that you do some kind of weekly evaluation. Yeah. Okay, I actually realized now that my last weekly evaluation was out as well. God damn. Yeah, so I just did 2 weekly evaluations. Hey, look through them, both if you want to. I'm going to continue with my weekly evaluation now. Thank you for watching. I am a mess today. Did I mention I've been fasting for almost 20 hours now, and I am a mess. Again, thank you for this week. You're amazing. Bye, guys. Now I'm going to make this the right way. Live control room. Stop streaming.